Mr. Chairman. And this amendment is designed to do what the progressivity amendment does not do, which is actually reward new oil with a reduced tax. It's just that simple. There's a bunch of different ways to go about it. We're going to be debating them here. I'm looking forward to see which one emerges. But essentially, this amendment says measure the amount of oil that the company produced last year. If they increase it, they get a $10 bonus, is what I'm going to call it. Discussing it, but in the terms of the amendment, it's called an allowance. It comes off of your production tax value for those of you who are more adept at the inner workings of ACEs. You subtract your expenses. You now have a profit. If you produce a new barrel of oil, you get $10 off of that profit, the number of production tax value. And it's a powerful mechanism. It can stimulate new oil. It reduces the tax burden on every barrel that comes out that qualifies. Just for example, if a company produced 100,000 barrels of oil in 2012, increase that to 110,000 in 2013, the company would be eligible for that allowance or the bonus on 10,000 barrels. It would turn to the Department of Revenue and ask them to determine the average daily statewide production for each producer in the previous year. They would adjust that by eliminating days where there was a significant slowdown due to sort of events beyond the company's control, a shutdown of the pipeline, for example, or other difficulty that prevented them from flowing the normal amount of oil. You run the numbers, and if you beat your number one year to the next, you get the bonus. It takes into account the possibility that there's a merger between two companies. You don't get to merge with a company and benefit from their new oil put onto your base. We thought about that, and but it would stimulate. The thing we've heard often during the last year of studying this issue is that the easy oil is gone from the North Slope. That the big fields have been found. The new fields are going to be more challenged. Whether it's across CD5, whether it's out along outer areas where you've got to build long roads or build long ice roads to get to, or whether it's simply heavy oil that is just going to come out of the ground with more difficulty, or shale oil, of course, as you followed pretty closely, is another area where you might get a big boom, but we don't know yet. The benefit of this is that it expires after a year. So if shale oil comes on like gangbusters, you pay the bonus for the first year. The second year, you're back to being taxed like any other barrel. So it's a one-time kind of quick stimulus to help reduce the tax burden on new oil. When Senator Wolikowski and I met with the oil industry this summer talking about some of our SDFI ideas, what really came across to me very powerfully was the time value of money to investors in oil operations on the North Slope. The North Slope is a slow place to develop. It takes 5 to 7 years to see new production compared to, say, Texas, where it's much, much shorter. And so your money is out there waiting. You invested all this money in a new field or a new well, and you're waiting for that oil to come out of the ground and start paying you back on that investment. The faster you get paid back, the more powerful the economics are to an individual investor or an individual company. So that's the idea here, is to push a little bit of money across the table in reward for investment, in reward for new oil. So well, I'm sure we'll be debating whether it should be 2 years, 3 years, maybe up to 7, as Senator McGuire has suggested, whether you should take into account a decline curve or not. But to me, the simplest idea is say, you put oil you put more oil on the pipe, I'm going to push some tax dollars across the table to you. So that's the idea.